Hello. Today I had a very productive but long day. I worked on a modular cutscene system. So I'll go ahead and show off a little bit that I've worked on here. This can be triggered through in-world triggers like this one is about to be, or just through an event. Notice Jim has no walking animation during the cutscenes yet. There's a bug with the AI controller there that I have not been able to get solved. Hopefully I will figure it out soon. Same with that white flash in the transitions. And that's the end of like what I've done with this little test here. That cutscene that you just saw, I had to remake it 3 times, but because I made this a modular cutscene, it's only taken about 10 minutes to make that whole thing. Each time I had to completely start over. So what I'm doing here is I have this trigger that actually starts the cutscene. And that's attached to this cutscene manager where I basically have in-engine scripting through structs that basically I call them orders, and all these orders make up a cutscene sequence. And if I open up one of the orders here, there's a different category that it can be for animation, dialogue, dialogue complete, event, Jim move, Jim transform, play sound. Just a bunch of presets. So the first thing I do is I update Jim's transform, and I make him rotate the way that I wanted him to be from the start, and I put him in a starting position. And then I have an AI possess Jim, and you open up the Jim AI move category, and you tell him where you want him to go to. And at the top of these, there's these universal ones that pop up in all of them, namely this autocomplete and complete delay. What autocomplete does is it makes the order complete as soon as you ask it to execute. And this delay means basically just a delay before it can be called, or it can be set as complete. Even with autocomplete, you'll still have to wait for this delay. Then I would call a camera animation here, which I have this a bunch of different sequences for. I'm using level sequences. Whoops. Yeah. And I have all the playback settings in here, as well as where you want the camera to spawn at, which isn't really that important because how I've been using it, because it's faster to do when you redo it, is by just having these invisible spheres here and binding the position and rotation of the camera that gets spawned to those. This first camera, when Jim walks up, was sitting about right here, and what it was set to was to just look at Jim as he walks by and just stay in this position. And up here I had it look back and forth without following a particular actor, just looking back and forth. And I did that in the actual level sequence. And I've just done a lot of these different things added up. There's the dialogue there. Let's look at the actual blueprint for this, though. I made this whole thing today. I made a plan for it yesterday, and I executed the plan today. Basically, once it begins, it'll go through all of those orders and begin to iterate through them. And it will not continue until the order has been marked as complete. And then it will finally move on to its next order. And it uses this execute order down here to actually execute the orders. You can see here, this is where the cutscene categories branch the paths to do all the different functions that I want to have readily accessible. It's not the most organized and commented yet. It's a bit of a mess, but it's still pretty easy for me to follow, probably just because I just now made it. Essentially, once it's the order is completed, it'll set that the order is complete, and it will move on to the next until it eventually ends and blends back to the player's main camera. One thing that has made this really difficult is anytime I have to go back and edit these structs, all of the in-progress level cutscenes get wiped out completely. Meaning if I edit a struct, this whole cutscene orders array gets cleared. That's a bug with Unreal Engine that's well known, but there is no workaround for it. So since this is the way I built things, I'm just going to have to be very careful. I'm going to try to get all the functionality needed implemented right off the bat. And there's also, inside of each level sequence, they also have their own blueprint that can operate things in the world too. So if any other custom things need to be done, this is a good place to do it. Such as this wall falling down or something. But yeah, I'll run through that cutscene again so that we can watch it one more time after explaining that. It seems really simple, but I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It's been like 7 hours to get it to this point. We can notice here if I just leave the dialogue on screen, it'll just keep playing that camera animation until I advance the dialogue, and then it will snap using an interpolation I set. And then the next dialogue will pop up. So I think really there's a lot that can be done with this cutscene system quickly, which is the goal. I don't want to spend too much time making individual cutscenes and making a mess of different assets to name and keep track of. So the 7 hours I spent today setting this up will definitely be worth it in the long run. But yeah, that's about it for now.